Gone live yet? Oh, you've gone live. I wanted to say something before you went live.
I'll type it in the side chat here. But yeah, we are live. I appreciate everybody tuning in. This is Stone Guy 223 Tac Daddy After Chat, and we'll get some introductions out of the way. From my left, we've got Ballistic Expansion.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
And Yankee Marshall.
Hello.
Edge 4006.
Hey, what's up?
And we got Island Survivor. What's going on, buddy?
Aloha.
And Foos.
Hello.
I'm here.
And Gun Websites.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. And the Tac Daddy himself.
I'm here for Foos.
All right. And Moon Food.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And bringing a little class to the chat, we've got Ryan from Armed Citizens United.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, thanks for everybody out there watching and support the channel. If you don't check it out, we've got the Tac Daddy live show. He does his at 9 p.m. Eastern, and typically I follow up with a better chat at 10 p.m. Eastern. But, you know.
What's up?
Anyway.
Zombie course.
Better means just now 10% more douche.
Yeah.
Less douche.
The one thing, let's get out of the way right away. Tac, I'll let you throw it out there because you know all the information in the name, but I thought that was a super cool idea. So talk about the 3-gun / zombie / mud run.
Mike's not going to let me do this justice, but check out OutbreakShootout.com. And it's coming up. It's an event here in Florida, and it's a 2-day thing, but you go and you shoot, and it's not just an average three-gun event.
And so the cool thing, the guy that's putting on this event is basically running it like a half mud run, half CrossFit kind of deal. I don't know. The concept seemed phenomenal. Run and gun, run through obstacles, shoot. They're supplying the rifle and the shotgun. They're supplying all the ammo except for the pistol. You supply your own pistol and your own pistol ammo. So I don't know.
Where is it happening at? Where?
Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, sweet. It's awesome.
And it's April 25th and 26th. It's that Saturday and Sunday. You're only going to shoot one day, but it's those 2 days. So anybody interested, check it out.
You know how much the entry fee is?
The entry fee right now is $199, but he's doing a 20% discount for the viewers and listeners if you use a Tac Daddy coupon code. And then if you did a 5-man team, it's a 25% off. So
That's not a bad deal at all, though, considering that they supply both the long guns and the ammo. That's
exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
It looks like it's 5 courses of fire.
Yeah, that was the other neat thing. It's not a, so it's not a little chintzy, 10-round match or anything like that. So anyway, check those guys out. Give them some support. This is a first annual, so hopefully he'll that'll really catch on.
And what was the name of the website again? Outbreak?
I just put it in the external. I'll put it in the internal.
Outbreak Shootout.
Shootout. Awesome.
Check the internal, Caleb.
Thanks.
Well, and I guess before we went live, we were talking about the new PMAG, because I just got I don't remember if it was Midway or someone sent me a promotional advertisement email that said PMAG Glock magazines, $12.99 or $14.99.
15.
So we were kind of having a conversation about that, and I didn't realize they weren't steel lined. And so the guys were telling me that hell, you can get a brand new Glock mag for $23-25. So you're only talking $5 to $10 less for a all polymer magazine versus a steel lined OEM mag, the actual Glock mag. So.
Yeah.
I mean, see what happens. I mean, order 2, and we'll see.
I didn't catch that. What'd you say, Edge?
I said I ordered 2, so I'm interested to just try them out. You know, it's hope. I mean, Magpul makes great products. They have in the past. I'm assuming it's going to work good and put it
Yeah.
and take it to the range, put a couple hundred rounds through it, and see how it works out.
And if it fails, pack it full of dummy rounds and use it for dry fire.
There you go.
Yeah, that's there again. It's Magpul does make phenomenal products, so I don't think it's a matter of that, but it's a matter of like you said, if you would, I guess if factory Glock mags weren't steel lined and you didn't know any better, that'd be one thing. But for the extra $5 or $10, why wouldn't you go with something that's steel reinforced?
Well, what do you feel about their AK mags that didn't have the metal feed lips?
Yeah, see, and I'm kind of on the fence with those. And see, the weird thing is, all the AR mags from Magpul are 100% polymer except for the spring, obviously, and those are phenomenal. No, you don't have any issues with those. So it's like, I mean, are we just getting caught up on the steel? You know what I mean? Like, is it really that important, seeing that all their other products work fine without the steel reinforcement?
Have you tried Lancer mags yet?
I fucking hate Lancer mags.
Really?
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of good things about them. I've never used one before.
I don't like them.
I was saying I hadn't had any problems yet.
They make Glock mags, don't they? Or do they not?
Stone Guy's by himself on that one.
Stone, why don't you like Lancer mags?
I just haven't had good luck with them. I don't know if I was. Of course, I think I've only tried 2 or 3. It's not like something I've used a lot of. One was given to me, and so I don't know if it was already fucked up, and that's why he gave it to me. And then I bought a brand new one, and it would stick. The follower would stick about halfway down, so it would shoot 5 or 6 rounds, and then it would get slack, and I'd look, and you'd have to thump it to get the follower to pop
You
loose.
could probably fix that. I mean, I'm not saying you should have to fix it from out of the box, but I guess you could sand the followers down a little bit, smooth them out.
Yeah, but why the fuck would I?
Why would you pay for a magazine and have to do that to it?
Yeah, that's the Lancer mags that's what we ship with the head down guns. We haven't had any problems with those, so I was surprised to hear you say you had problems.
Yep, like I said, it could have just been a bad batch, and this was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe.
Oh man, I just picked up I think Botach had some kind of sale a while back where they were 5 or 6 for like $50. So I ended up picking up 12, and they're fantastic. But
The other ones I didn't like were
those Elanders. I'm not very fond of.
were they Troy? The Troy Battle Mags? I don't think I like those things. I don't remember. Let me grab one here.
Well, Troy Battle Mags definitely suck, so maybe that's what you're thinking of.
What about those hex mags that are a lot of people doing reviews on?
I've got some. I haven't had a chance to run them yet, but they're a super cool concept with the color-coded deal.
Great.
Hey, Stone, check out the internal. That last link.
Okay, cool.
You might like those prices.
You broke up a little there, Tac.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of deals I'm talking about. $20. That's great.
$20 for factory Glock mags.
Oh, they're out of stock for this. Of course.
Yeah, but now are they
Well, no. There's a
$20 to
factory,
ship them to you?
no. There's a 4th gen. Add to cart.
Now, what'd you say, Tac Daddy? We didn't get you. You broke up a
Last
little bit.
10 round.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say something.
I like mags. I like the hex mags so far.
Oh, okay, cool. You've had a chance to run them.
Yeah, CD&N has really good prices, and I did shop them after that last Lucas Tactical sale that I didn't get to get in on, but I almost bought those too, and then that last one I was like, hey, they're 10 rounds, man. So I was like,
Oh.
See, that's one thing. It's kind of odd. It's that Canadian, or when I got in ARs, I would assume that everybody's going to use steel, your aluminum magazines or some kind of metal construction magazines. To find out, Magpul was one of the most popular ones. When I did some research on the metal magazines, they're saying you got to get the green follower, you got to use certain springs, this brand or that brand. And and everybody said you can't go wrong with the Magpul magazine or some of the other polymer magazines as well.
Well, what's the oh gosh, it just went out of my head right when I was about to say it. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, let's Tac. Was there a story we didn't get to that we wanted to carry over as far as the NRA?
No, just advice and stuff like that on the event. We didn't really get into that, but I got to step off and finish packing up and get some sleep.
All right. Well, have a safe trip. I'll see you in a day.
Sounds good. Talk to y'all later.
Oh, yeah. I just kind of want to know from you guys what you feel. I mean, do you feel like the NRA is, with you got SHOT Show, do you think it's important for the NRA to host these kind of things, and to the fact that it is open to the public,
Sure.
Really only.
Absolutely. Where else can you go and get I don't know, 900, but hundreds of guns in your hand in one day?
Well, you can go to the Arizona Game and Fish Day, they call it, or whatever, up at Ben Avery, that just happened in the end of March. That's similar, so I'm sure other states have something like that too. So they're not quite the scale of the NRA, but there are other ones. There's that Pennsylvania one that everybody went to a couple weeks back. There's no reason for them to not do it, but I'm just saying it's not the only option.
I think it's definitely important for them to have a big show. I don't know if it drives membership or anything like that, but it keeps, current, keeps them out there.
Well, they move it around every year too, so they're trying to get it out just to make it available to people.
And I've never been to one, so might be a bad question. Is it possible to purchase items at the NRA, whereas on the
Yes.
floor, so to speak, whereas at SHOT Show you're putting in like orders, or you have to be like
Not
a
like
regular
everybody, but there's some stuff to buy, but not, it's not like.
Now, see, I heard that there was
like
a ton
racks
of
of clothing.
I heard there was a ton of stuff like cash and carry at NRA.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to buy. Definitely more than SHOT. SHOT doesn't really have anything to buy, so there's stuff to buy. But if it's small, maybe I don't know. It's not like they set up stores, is what I'm saying. It's not like a flea market where.
Can you buy firearms there?
No, it's not like Spyderco is setting up like a booth where you go there and you buy Spydercos. You go there to look at all the Spydercos and to talk shit, to talk about them and to look at them and to fiddle with them all. But they have like one of each. Unless it's changed drastically since the last time I went, they're not. It's not like a gun show where you go there to purchase. That would be a whole different show. That's what it sounds like the Pennsylvania show is more like.
Oh, yeah, and real quick, did they reinstate that show? Because I think it was, remember last year that they pulled that?
No, it was 2 years ago, whenever the 2013, they all pulled their guns. They've kept doing the show, it's just that now they've got a bunch of people to go to it so that they don't talk about what happened a couple years ago.
Right, and
kind
for
of
those
swept
of you
that
guys
under
that
the
don't know,
Look at how
2
good we
years
are now.
ago-
Let's not talk about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I thought it was pretty shitty, and I think it's, I feel like they've kind of gotten away with it. You know what I mean? Like those promoters have gotten away with the fact that they tried to pull that bullshit.
Sure. But what are you going to take away everybody that makes a bad decision? Everybody makes bad decisions.
We have somebody from Pennsylvania on this panel. What's your opinion of that, Moon? Being local.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know about that Pennsylvania outdoor show?
I know about the one this year, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, in 2013, they almost canceled it. They told everybody with AR-15s to stay home because they didn't want to be perceived as a gun show, and they saw it as a
Right, it was right on the heels of the assault weapons ban
So
push.
they pulled a Dix.
Well, yeah, for black, yeah.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe they have different people running it now.
It could be because the videos that I saw from that particular show, granted there was only a couple of on my feed about it, but the like Sean and those guys, they were doing a chat from there and everything, and it sounded like there was some good stuff. You know, that it was entertaining or interesting. It's not going to be as big as the NRA or SHOT Show, though. Of course, you know.
Well, the recent one that lasted 10 days, didn't it?
Yeah, it's way bigger than NRA show. NRA show is barely 2 days and a little bit extra, but that is way bigger, and you can buy stuff there. It's like more like a gun show. It sounded like.
Yeah, I'd like to go there next year.
The thing about the NRA show is the NRA national meeting and exposition. So again, just because people do sell some things there, it's not a it's not a show for buying. It's an exposition. So it's just for people to show off their wares, which is great. But yeah, there's definitely opportunity for somebody to do a show where.
No, I didn't realize. I got a media pass for NRA, and they sent me an email today telling all the media when they could do an interview or when they'd have an opportunity to meet with them. Fucking. Oh,
Jane.
No, the ball, oh, God damn it. The bald
Curator
guy, bad hair, super rich, you're fired.
Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, thank you.
What? Who the hell wants to meet with him?
I don't know, but Donald Trump supposedly is going to be at, let me see here.
What are they trying to make it unappealing to own?
Yeah, here it is. Donald Trump Media Advisory. Donald Trump, let's see, this says.
It's like a storm.
Donald Trump will speak in the Grand Ballroom on the Music City Center, located yada yada, immediately following the Music City Center.
Why would anyone ever want to listen to Donald Trump speak?
Well, what I find odd, or
does he have more money than Bloomberg? Maybe we want him on our side.
Yeah, well, the fact that he's there, you know what I mean.
Donald Trump is always struggling for money left and right. He maintains the air of a billionaire, but he does it on other people's money and on bankruptcy cases where he's filed bankruptcy so many times.
But is he pro-gun?
Well, he's pro-Donald Trump. He'll attach himself
He's
in.
definitely pro-Donald Trump.
He's a perfect example of how to turn your grandpa's billions into multi-millions. Because that's what he did.
He's like so many of these people that just see the firearms industry as something they can exploit.
Yeah, he's just exploiting. Yep. He's just exploiting the NRA convention for his own personal use.
Okay, that was my question. And I'm glad you drew that.
You never heard of him talking about guns more than 2 or 3 years ago, right? And all of a sudden.
Well, and that's why I draw the one.
Only when he's ready to do only when he's getting ready to do a presidential run, which he does solely for the purpose of collecting donations and then keeping them for personal use. Because once your candidacy ends, you're allowed to keep all your PAC money for personal use. So.
Well, but like G-Web's just said, and that's why I think it was important, because like Bloomberg, and I'm glad you drew the comparison there, or the parallel between, Bloomberg's got a shit ton of money and he's anti-gun, so it would be really, really nice to think that if Donald Trump was super pro-gun and he wasn't just doing it for his own.
He doesn't spend a dime on pro-gun causes. He just shows up for publicity and garners donations.
Well, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's really true. I believe it or not, I've met Donald Trump several times, and I know some people on his executive team, and I know them pretty well. I've done business with him. He's he will flop to the side that gives him the best scenario for himself. I'm surprised that there's any involvement there, because he's not going to actually be helpful in the long run. He might be somebody that could be utilized for the short term, but he's just out for himself. So if it ever gets tough,
the only reason he's going there is to shore up his coffers with conservative money,
Yeah,
giving donations, which he will then keep and use for his own personal use.
100% right. Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised by that they're even letting. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. I got to be honest.
Well, then that's sad because I got kind of excited when I read that email, thinking that, oh crap, now we've got someone with as much financial means as Bloomberg on our side, and maybe this is a good start to.
I think Bloomberg's actually richer than him.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
What about that Virgin guy?
That'd be a different story.
He's British, so who knows how he feels about firearms.
Some of them
he's
are
pro
all
space.
about, though.
Definitely pro space. You're talking about Richard Branson, right?
Yes.
Not
Oh well. Well, I guess that just shot my whole line of thinking down. So.
You beat him, you tell him you're fired.
Don't get sad, Stone Guy. Ivanka might be there. That'd make your day.
No, I don't think she's that pretty. Is it his daughter though? That's really hot.
That's Ivanka with a K at the
Oh,
end.
I thought that was his wife.
No.
She's on the cover of my neighborhood magazine. She just moved in here.
His daughter's smoking hot.
Wait, his daughter just moved into your neighborhood?
Yeah, I'll go grab that and put it in my bag for you.
Who is this talking? I'm sorry, I'm on.
That was Tac.
That was Tac. So you're gonna have to move down to Miami.
Tac, you must be living in the damn 1% neighborhood there, huh?
Maybe.
I didn't realize you had it like that, brother. I think you need to be paying for my strip club adventures.
You just need to rent him a gun for $400 a day.
All right.
Bring me a gun.
I'll teach you.
I'll bring you a gun, Tac. Do you want one?
Take him to Jennings.
And I do have your holsters packed up.
Oh, cool. That's cool. But no, do you want to carry a gun while you're there?
Yeah.
You can't transfer a handgun to another individual out of state.
Oh, I wouldn't be
Yeah, but
transferring it. I would be gifting it, right?
You can't transfer a firearm under any circumstances to another individual over state lines.
No, you'd have to give it to an FFL who would then transfer.
FFL first. Yeah.
And then you
really?
couldn't take it from that FFL, so no. Don't cover
Okay. All right. Well, we can't do that then, Tac.
Bring me one so I can carry it while I'm there. Thanks.
All right. Well, we'll have to go to the gun shop and check it out.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. I'm glad G-Web's cleared that up so we weren't violating any laws.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to prison over the NRA show.
I like your cop, bro. Shit.
How how'd we turn out with the whole is it Washington where they were saying that you can't, like, even a family member, you can't loan them a firearm or something. We were just talking about that the other day, some kind of law. Was that an already existing law, or is that something they're trying to push through?
No, that's what they just accepted when they said it's okay to require transfers.
You have to have a FFL transfer for any private sale. Now you can be like at the range and let somebody shoot your gun, or let your family shoot your gun. But you can't let anyone leave your presence with your firearm.
Oh, okay.
And if you're not on the range or on the field for hunting, then you can't do any of that.
So have you, Yankee? Have you seen a downturn in private sales? I mean, has that really affected the gun trading up there?
I can't say that it has.
Well, I mean, FFL transfers like what, $25 normally going rate, somewhere on there.
Anywhere from a lot of the ones runs around here will do it for 10. So
Yeah.
10,
Okay, that's not
It
bad.
doesn't cost them anything other than the time and the paperwork, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but
the
compare
hassle.
that to like where Marco lives. I think Marco said transfers can be up to $75. I think
What?
DB even said.
Yeah.
I think DB said when he tried to get one transferred in New York one time, he went into the wrong shop, obviously, and the dude like wanted to charge him like $125 or more for a transfer.
Yep.
He was trying
Sometimes
to be
they're
a jerk.
$50 here in Pennsylvania, and on top of that, you got to pay the $10 background fee, so it's like $60. It's not even worth
Okay.
it.
I see them as
Wow.
50 here locally.
Yeah, this is a little shop that just opened up here, a little pawn shop. I haven't even been in there yet, but they've been advertising their sign, $10 transfer fee. So I'm like, sweet. If I ever need to order a gun and get transferred, I'll go there and get transferred.
Out here, it's anywhere from 20 to $50, depending on which one you go to.
You get a discount here if you ever CHL or concealed carry license because they really just have to fill out the paperwork. It's pretty much
Same
it.
here.
Do the background.
Same here. If you have a concealed carry, you don't have to get anything called in, and we have a shop here that does it for 15.
Like out here, the shop doesn't do the background check. The police station does. That's
So-
one of the
So you
joys
can
of
pay for.
mandatory registration.
Well, that's the same way it is in Georgia. If you have your concealed carry permit, you don't have to wait for the background check to clear. Does that mean that there's no transfer fee? I mean, they just validate your concealed carry license, and then you fill out the 4473 and buy the gun.
Who are you talking to?
Anyone in general, like
Here, I mean, you still have to give them the whatever transfer fee just for the use of their time.
Yeah.
And to pay for their FFL, because I mean there's several around here that do it out of their home, so they just pay for their FFL. But yeah, I mean if you go to a store, of course, and buy one of their guns, it's no additional charge.
yeah, that's cool. So Stone, you're not gonna be able to shoot the state match this summer.
I haven't decided yet.
You better hurry and squad up because it's getting full. Saturdays, for some reason, Saturday's not full, but it won't let you switch squads once you get in there, so it's kind of weird. But Friday's still got some pretty good, a lot of open spots.
I don't care who I shoot with.
Dave Savigny's shooting, so that'll be kind of cool. I'm gonna watch him shoot because he's shooting Saturday afternoon. I'm gonna after I shoot that morning, I'm gonna go get some footage of him or something, maybe talk to him and stuff. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, just make sure you ask him.
Oh yeah, I'll ask him. It's okay. I'm not gonna like all up on him. Like I'll just stand back and watch probably from the.
Who was it you were wanting to see?
Dave Savigny.
Dave Savigny.
Okay.
He seems like a pretty nice guy from the interviews and stuff I've seen with him. Pretty
Yeah, he's all right. He does have he's got an air of.
I'm better than you.
Of grand mastery to him?
Yeah, well, he is a grand master. So.
I mean, he is good, but he's also, he comes off that way.
Yeah. Right.
If you don't know him, you'd think he was a real prick, but if you know him, you understand it's just kind of his personality.
Like hold my towel.
Yeah, well, him and Randy are the only two GMs registered right now for limited.
You mean in our area?
No, I'm talking about for the state match.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if KC's gonna shoot it. He hasn't registered yet, so I was hoping to watch him too.
CBO? He'll shoot. He'll shoot.
That's what I figured. He probably doesn't worry about registering because he knows he can get in. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
His sponsors probably get him in, so he doesn't worry about it. If they register for him, they're just like, okay, you're registered. But
So, G-Webs, you've been to a couple of these NRAs before?
Yes.
Okay. Is there? Let me phrase it. Are there opportunities to talk to people that would have some clout or some pull with what goes? I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to ask. Are they open to hearing ideas and feedback from their members?
Do you mean the NRA or
Right, yeah, the NRA itself. I mean, is there?
Well, it is the national meetings, so they're going to be voting on stuff and they're going to be presenting their stuff. So, as far as like communicating with them, I don't know. They're a big organization. They're also on location creating a big event, trying to organize the big event and all that. So, I mean, in my interactions with them, it's easier to talk to them when you're at the national headquarters, of course, because then they're in their own environment and they're not stressed out or anything. But I never really tried to do anything. I mean, are you talking like questions about policy and stuff?
Yeah, like and I'm just thinking ahead, just so I don't make a fool of myself.
Well, they'll probably have. Back it used to be different. They used to have like the exposition and then like some meetings after that. Now I think they just do them all at the same time. So you'll probably have to scrutinize like a calendar or something or a schedule, and then see when an actual NRA policy type of meeting is going on, and then you probably got the best bet to meet somebody who's actually involved with policy or strategy or something. But it's mostly like it's not a public meeting. Like I'm going to talk about the Arizona Game and Fish. That's like the one I was talking about. When they do that meeting, or when they do that get together, they're just there to boast and to put on, to bring out all their cool stuff and let kids play on trucks and, let people see all the cool stuff there is to do in Arizona. So that's what the NRA is doing right now. It's like their expositions and their meetings. So they're voting. They are getting some work done, but they're not having like big debates on what direction should the NRA go. I don't think. I think it's more like, look how awesome we are, and this is what we did. This is like our report card for the year. It's a big picnic, and it's business, but it's not so much like, it's more like just bragging and showing off your stuff at a barbecue. It's not like, let's get down to work and get underneath the hood and take this engine
Right.
apart and figure out a better way to build it. Those kind of meetings, I think, happen more like boring, like not big publicized things.
Is it when they announce the new board members that got voted in, or is this when they take the vote, actually?
I thought it was this when they take the vote, because like say, when I remember it before, when we were trying to schedule it and stuff, it's like, oh, okay, we're just going to go for the fun stuff. We're not going to go for the boring meetings and shit. So, I just remember back in the day, it used to be like the meetings were a separate day, but I don't see that anymore on the schedule. So I'm thinking it's all, they just combine it all. So you probably would have to leave and go see what the meetings are. I think though it's all about the vote. That's one of the reasons they bring everybody together, is to vote.
I thought it had something to do with that.
I always went as press, so you just walk in as press and go to the press room. Everybody else goes to this big stupid line for whatever reason. It's like going to a football game or something, because they're always in like a stadium, so they have like all the ticket takers or whatever there. So like whatever the venue is, it's always got like a giant ticket. What do they call that? Like there's a bunch of ticket takers in a line, like, and I imagine when you go up and get your badge and do all that, there's probably some sort of like NRA pitch that they give you, like, hey, upgrade your membership, or add on a couple of years to your membership, or whatever. And that's probably when they give you the ballot. Not everybody gets a ballot. So life members and people paying enough to be fancy members get ballots. Then they probably just add them up and tell you at the end, maybe. I don't know. To be honest, I'm always just there to look at the stuff. I don't really pay attention to the NRA part. I imagine, though, they would just shine you on. They'd be like, yeah, thanks. But you'd probably have to really be talking to somebody to get any of it to sink in.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I was wondering, like if in your experience, if you had an opportunity to sit down, or if they had representatives available to really take notes from the general public on, and if they hear a topic or a subject that's brought up multiple times by different people, then maybe that would be something they would actually look into.
Nah, I mean, it's just like SHOT or something. The first year we went, it was in Phoenix, and the press room was one way, and then we went to North Carolina, and it was totally different. So when we tried to explain to them that, they were like, oh, really? Like, they had never even been to, like, SHOT Show and seen the press room or anything, so they were, I don't know, it's like I think they're growing or whatever, and they're not, like I say, they're always on location, so it's not like they can get comfortable and get used to it. It's always new. You can't even imagine. I mean, just imagine something like tables or something that they need, or like it's always union people that set up booths and stuff. So imagine just like the union people, they got to go to a city and then start making contacts for the first time for all that stuff. I mean, I guess it's a good way to do it. It's a cool way to do it, but compared to SHOT Show, like they've been doing it there for like 10 years now. It seems like. 2009. So they've been doing that for 5 years in the same place. Like they don't, one of the reasons they stay there is because they just get used to doing it. So
Are there
anyway,
any?
so like I say, it just seems like NRA is always they're always running around like their heads cut off because they're always in a new place.
Are there any restrictions as far as what you can film or where you can film or anything like that?
Nah, I don't remember, but it's been a while. So I think it's the same. They want you to have, well, at least the last time we went in 10 or something, they wanted you to have a separate waiver for people that you videoed, but it doesn't seem like anybody cares about that anymore. And NRA isn't like shot where there's like anybody there that gives a shit.
Right. Okay, cool. Any tips as far as,
I'd say go look at the cool stuff.
footwear? I mean, as far as is it big and elaborate like
Are
shot?
you talking windbreakers? Well, I would wear a windbreaker that's got plenty of pockets.
No,
I'd go
no.
with comfortable shoes.
Where the hell did you get
Solid.
windbreaker from?
No, I'm saying it's 9 acres. Now it'll be. I mean, have you been to a big trade show before?
Well, yeah. I mean, no, I haven't been to NRA, but
Right, but I mean, if you've been to a trade show, it's usually they're set up with some sort of layout that they're familiar with because these things are in buildings that are designed for these shows. So it's not like it's the first time they've ever done it before. So they usually have like carpeted hallways that are padded. So even though you're walking in 9 acres of room, you don't get fatigued as bad as if you were walking on 9 acres of asphalt or something, or like at an air show where you're out on 9 acres of runways.
Right.
So it's not that bad. And then those buildings always have like shitters every 20 feet. So, and everyone I've been in, they're just usually, like I say, they're made for those things, those conventions. So they're either one big long L or one big long shape or like an L shape. So it's not even like you get lost or anything.
Well, is there any one thing that you guys would like to see, some footage of or some interviews with? I mean, I don't want to say I'm taking requests like I'm some fucking media guru, but I mean, since this is my first time, I want to try to get a lot of footage and meet with some people.
Well, I'd say since it's your first time, I mean, unless you're trying to pay for the trip or something, then just go enjoy yourself and take a look around. You're going for both days?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
So it's not like SHOT where there's strategies to doing stuff or whatever. This is just 2 days, and these people they're getting paid good money to get there, set up, bullshit with people, take their shit down, and go home. So it's not like they're under that much stress, at least the exposition, the people from the manufacturers and all those people. So in other words, it's not like on Sunday they're going to be like, oh, we're tired, we don't want to talk to you anymore. So I'd say spend all day Saturday just moseying along, doing your thing, and just try, it's not that big a show, so go from one end to the other. And then when you go back to your hotel or whatever, you'll have all those hours to figure out exactly what you want to do on Sunday. And then just, if you've since only got 2 days, just make sure that you either write it down on a piece of paper or something. So if you go somewhere and they're busy and you got to come back, you just don't forget. Make sure that you have some sort of piece of paper so that if you or some sort of list, so if you do need to juggle things from what you intended to do, that you don't lose things that you wanted to do. But I'll bet you can see the whole NRA show in 1 day for sure, and then 2 days is probably too much for some people. I'm sure most wives would be like, let's leave, this is boring as shit. But if you're trying to get something done, 1 day worth of walking around and then 1 day worth of getting stuff done should be plenty for you. It's not like you're trying to come home with 35 videos or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You gonna go hang out with Ted Nugent, Stone Guy?
Oh, is he gonna be there? That'd be awesome. I'd like to meet the guy. I mean, some of his stuff is pretty far out there, but he is a big, he's an advocate, and he's
Uncle Ted.
You know what I mean? Like, even though some of his shit's pretty crazy and he said some awful stuff, he's still a celebrity that gets, exposure to the gun community.
That seems to be
First
one of the
time I
things.
met the guy was at an NRA show. I was minding my business, walking out this door, and his entourage of security guards pushed me out of the way and opened the door for him, and he left. And then they closed the door, and I'm like, oh, thanks, Mr.
That seems to be one of the things
It,
that's different.
it wasn't even like a fire escape or nothing. It was just like a door, and I kind of went. I was going upstairs to the press room, so I was going through this door that there wasn't even anybody around. Like there wasn't anyone anywhere near me. There was, and it's in the convention center, so it's the whole first floor is nothing but doors. Like you could literally pick any set of doors in the whole fucking place. Not like I was going directly to his car or anything. Anyway, it just went out from like the main room into the hallway where the elevators are. Yeah, and they just like pushed me over because he fucking was walking that way or whatever. I was just like, man, that's rude as shit. Just fucking lame and rude.
Doesn't he carry two 1911s on him at all times? That's how I understood.
I don't know about any of that.
I never even knew who the guy was really until he pushed me out of the way, and I was like, well, who's this jerk? And then I asked somebody who he was, and they're like, oh, that's that guy. I'm like, man, what was he?
He never travels according to without his two 1911s. I forget what brand that he.
His team of security guards might carry 1911s.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you need security guards? Like, he had like seriously like 6 security guard people, like in a little, like what do you call it, like a little formation around him, so nobody could get near him. Like at a freaking NRA show, like what are you freaking afraid of? Like all your, like all the gun people are gonna come up, shake your hand or something?
And I don't care what he carries. To me, a douchebag with good taste in carry guns is still just a douchebag. And I'm sorry, he's a douchebag.
I don't like the guy.
So you tell him that, Stone Guy. You'd be like, I know a guy that you ran over in Phoenix.
Back to Stone Guy, I think you should kick his ass when you're there. That's what you should do.
Tell him Ed said, get the hell out of Texas.
You should avenge G-Webs and kick his ass.
Yeah, he's not a big dude, but
You don't need to do that. Just push one of his bodyguards over. Like, I'm pushing this guy because of what he did to some guy half a dozen years ago.
Become famous.
You're that guy.
and not just internet famous.
Gun community famous.
Oh no, that would be on the 6 o'clock news. That would definitely be all the way there.
Local Georgia man. Shut up, Bridget.
They're not trying to do all that.
I would say bring your own food, like something to eat for lunch. So you don't have to eat whatever they charge you for at those places. Those are always rip off.
I'm a protein bar guy when it comes to shit like that. I don't.
Eat breakfast, go to the thing, eat a protein bar and a drink, a bottle of water that you bring, and then eat dinner after, and then that way you don't get raped.
You got Frito pie over there?
I have a hard time with community food anyway. I won't.
So what's the deal? Are you going to like party with a bunch of people on Friday and then?
No, because see, I've got to work.
A bunch of people on Sunday.
Yeah, now hopefully, see, I'm gonna if I drive up Friday night, I won't get there till midnight. So I'm debating on whether to drive up Friday night or just get up early Saturday morning and drive up. So I'm sure there'll be something going on Saturday night, and then.
How many hours is it? 5 hours for you?
About 4.5. 4.5.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like wasting a hotel room. Just go to sleep early on Friday, get up at like 4 and drive up there and be there by 9.
Yeah. Hang on one second.
It's not. I can't imagine Nashville traffic is going to be bad on a Saturday morning.
I don't know. I've never been through Nashville on a Saturday morning. It could be terrible.
I've been through twice or 3 times, twice I guess, recently, but it didn't seem like a town with a bunch of horrible traffic or anything.
It can be, and it's most.
Oh wait, which one's Nashville? The one that's east or west? Which one? Nashville's the big one in the middle.
Yeah, Nashville's got some pretty gnarly traffic, and the highway system sucks. So.
Yeah, it's a big city.
The fucking airport.
I think the other one. Wait, what's the other one called? The one where Smoky Mountain Knife Works is.
Is that Memphis? I don't know.
No, Memphis is on the river, on the Mississippi.
If you get off on the wrong exit in Nashville and you hear banjos, run for your fucking life.
It's Nashville and Knoxville, right? So is it Knoxville the one that's more east?
Knoxville is not as big a city as Nashville.
Okay, I was thinking of Knoxville. So Nashville's the bigger one. So I don't know about that one. We drove around it. We went down to Barrett and then back up. So we drove all the way around it without actually driving there.
All you do, Yankees, you pull over and ask a gentleman on the side of the road, sir, can you give me directions back to the highway?
You going to Jaeger's thing? When is that? Is that like Friday? Stone
I
guy
do
here.
know. Paging Stone Guy.
Mr. Stone Guy.
So it looks like they also got Hank Williams
We're
Jr.,
hosting it. We should get paid more.
Alan Jackson, and Jeff Foxworthy seem to be the other entertainment type guests.
That I could not create a less attractive lineup for myself if I tried.
I don't know that I'd be running to go. I mean, I would want to go just to
You know,
go,
What's
but
the
I'm
comedian
not going
that,
to see it.
what's the comedian that does the puppets? That'd be the only way they could make it less appealing to me if they also had the comedian that does the puppets.
Jeff Dunham?
Yeah,
No.
but it's in Nashville. Those guys are super funny down there, right? That's where they come from.
I don't know. I don't think Jeff Foxworthy's funny anywhere, but
Yeah, he had his moments, but I'm not a big Alan Jackson fan either like that.
Well, you might not be a redneck then, Yankee.
yeah.
I never cared for Alan Jackson music.
I am 100% purebred redneck, but he is not funny.
He does not represent you, is what you're saying.
No.
Drive that Mercury up and down the road, Edge.
Well, see, it's funny when you talk to somebody, what's the difference between a hillbilly and a redneck, and you get the description.
Hillbillies are rednecks.
Hillbillies are fatter.
Hillbillies created the term redneck.
Doesn't that come from the miners wearing the red kerchiefs?
Yep, all the miners were hillbillies. They were West Virginia hillbillies and Ohio hillbillies. That rednecks are hillbillies.
I was told that hillbillies.
I don't know about that.
You were told wrong.
Hillbillies
No,
and they're actually not as bad as rednecks. 'Cause
Yep,
rednecks.
you were told wrong. Rednecks are
No,
hillbillies.
like the term redneck comes from like when
Fucked up rednecks are just workers.
were like the union breakers coming in, and it was
The
Man,
miners had to fight back, and they had to hide their identity with scarves, but they identified each other by their red scarves.
right.
That sounds like the Cowboys.
Because the governor and the National Guard were just sending troops in to shoot the miners because they were disobeying the company.
Yep.
My family was on those lines, so
Well, if you quit disobeying the company, you don't have nothing to worry about. Fall in line, everything will be fine.
Sold at a family store.
Less of a chance of getting shot, I guess.
Company store.
Company store, I think is the way it goes.
Yeah. Did you load 16 tons?
you didn't
What'd you
spend your
get?
money. The only thing is, you didn't spend your money at the company store. You spent your script at the company store because they paid you in script, so that you had no place that you could spend it anywhere but company store.
Yep.
And then there was silence.
I think a good old general store if you could find them every now and then in a small city.
Depends if they call themselves a general store or if they're truly.
So people are asking me why I'm not going to the
College stores are
international.
almost
And I'm like, well,
general
one,
stores.
it's kind of far away, and two, if I wanted to hang around with just a bunch of fat conservative white guys, I would just go to a family reunion.
Then there's that.
Not very polite.
Well, isn't Hank
Yeah.
Strange going? You can hang
He's saying
out
that
with
all
Hank.
rednecks are hillbillies. I don't believe that.
No,
Hillbillies.
rednecks came from hillbillies. All the original rednecks were hillbillies. All rednecks are descended from hillbillies.
No, you're talking about some like crazy definition that hillbillies came up with, but the rest of the world thinks of rednecks as people that go out and get
The world
suntan
is
on the back
wrong
of their
because the
neck.
rest of the world is ignorant of history because what the rednecks are were the miners.
Yeah, okay, whatever. You can be.
But it has a
because
different
nobody has
connotation.
ever researched it. Nobody cares. But I'm just saying, I have always. Everybody has always said
Those
rednecks.
same
for
people
being
think
so-
irregardless is a word. They won't accept that as a word just because they think it's one.
There's a lot of women that call themselves redneck women, too, and they're not. They're busting their ass.
Isn't irregardless and like a double negative?
A lot of people mistake redneck for white trash. There's a big difference between white trash and redneck.
No. Well, I understand what you're saying, but yeah,
There is a little bit.
because the redneck is from being out and working on a farm or a field or a ranch.
No, that's a misconception, but that's one thing a lot of people think. But yeah,
Well, that might have been what it transmogrified to, you know.
But it actually started
Exactly.
off in
That's what
Ireland.
it's commonly used as. I mean,
Whoa,
where
whoa,
it
was
comes
that
from
word?
is just trivia.
Our American version came from the miners, but the miners actually co-opted it from the Irish that used the red handkerchiefs as a sign of their rebellion against the Catholic Church. and that was where they got it from.
Well, because a lot of those miners originally were Irish or Scots-Irish. I guess they'd be Scots-Irish if they were using the red ones.
Yep. So.
There's so many Baptist rednecks.
Well, like the term cracker comes from Florida originally. It's like the original cowboys for the cattle drive or something like that. Originally.
What?
But it doesn't mean that now. Oh, yeah.
Some people thought it meant the whip cracker, but that's not what it meant.
That's why I heard it too. This from slave.
No, it was actually a reference, a food reference, wasn't it, back in the cowboy days?
Yeah, it's a salty treat.
Cracker? Yeah, well, I guess.
Like
yes,
grits.
but no. Yes, but no.
Oh man.
Scared.
All right, so let's hit on. I don't want to talk too much because everybody's beating us to death, but I just kind of wanted to. I mean, we got a pretty large panel tonight. There was a couple things that were brought
The
to
rest of the
light.
video came out.
Right, with the rest of this video from South Carolina officer.
Oh, wait, the dash cam came out.
The dash cam came out today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
So
I had it described to
still
me.
doesn't. Yeah, it still doesn't change what he did was basically murder, but it does.
Race.
Yeah, it definitely. See, everybody's wanting to make this a race issue, and I firmly believe it's not a race issue whatsoever. I think that the fact of the matter is the cop was pissed off, frustrated, and lost his shit because the guy ran on him, wrestled with him, whatever. But I think he would have done the same thing if it was some tweaker white trash meth head or something, you know.
In the previous,
I don't know if it's race, but it
Yeah,
was
how do
to
you
me
know
what it
that?
seemed like is obvious a case of a police officer who, because of poor training and poor personality for the job, allowed a simple stop to go way further than it should have gone, and escalate way further than it should have escalated without calling backup, and then made a really bad decision and made himself a murderer.
Right.
Did the original video actually show him placing or depositing the taser?
No.
Well, you can't see what he's dropping, but you do see him go drop something next to the
you
body.
see him drop something.
Go pick it up and drop it, but I still say if that was a gun, he's not going to just leave a gun unattended.
No, it was a
somewhere
taser. It was
between him
his
and his
taser.
thing. Still, it was part of the evidence or whatever. Cops aren't required to keep a crime scene the same. They're authorized to move a crime scene if they need to. And I still say that, I mean, I'm not trying to advocate for some guy who's a murderer if that's the case, but I don't think it's unreasonable for a cop to secure a dangerous weapon.
Well, that would be to pick it up, not to
That'd
put
be
it
the thing.
down.
That would be if he picked it up from the side of the body and then.
All right, we're all talking from a calm, sitting in our couches, talking about this. That guy just had a lethal force incident. So all I'm saying is we're scrutinizing it from afar. And that's my concern with cameras. I don't know if this guy's innocent or guilty, but for the people in the future that will be innocent and the cameras will make them look guilty.
Yeah, I don't go for that
Sad.
bullshit. I don't go for that whole, cameras we use.
I don't care. I don't really care what you think because I know that in real life things are messy and it's not movies where you just, if you're a good guy and you take one shot, the bad guy's going to go down. Sometimes things are messy and it takes up multiple shots to do
back up
something.
the actual events. It's like that whole video that they circulated there for a while, like, watch this video and then you'll think the cop is totally unjustified in shooting this guy. But then when you read the story, you're like, nope, that video completely supports the idea that he was justified because in the video, they're like, you couldn't see the gun in his waistband. No, but you could see the cop behind him that could see it. You could see in the police report that there was a gun in his rear waistband. You could see in the video that he had his hand behind his back. So the video didn't dispel the actual reality. It supported the reality.
I hear what
Yeah,
you're
well, again, you're focusing on the details of one specific thing and trying to extrapolate that out that nothing can, everything's always black and white, and it's not the case.
I'm
There's a
going to
whole
say this
gray
video
area
is
in the world.
99% of the time going to be more reliable than anything else.
Well, I hear what you're saying, Wiz, but
That's like saying it's always having a witness is always more reliable
No,
than not.
that's real. It's the opposite. Witnesses are not reliable. Video doesn't extrapolate things in its head. Video just records.
You're right. Video is black and white, so that means that things can be misconstrued because of proportion and angle.
Not as likely.
And other things.
the video did look like he was.
You're secure in the.
No,
in the
not as likely because of the
video.
video.
I don't have that faith in technology.
With watching something, you see it once, and you have to form your opinion in your head of what happened. The video, you can back it up, watch it with new knowledge, back it up, watch it with new knowledge, back it up, watch it with new knowledge.
That's true.
All those pieces will fit together, and that's the job you do when you use video to back something up. You gather as much knowledge, and then you coordinate the video with the knowledge that you have or the evidence that you have, and you see if they line up.
And you have faith that that's somehow going to solve all the problems, and all it's doing is it's changing the
I
problems
sure as
to a
hell have a
different
lot
type
more faith in that than it was his word against a dead man's, and nothing was going to happen to him until the video came out.
I guarantee if the video wasn't there, he wouldn't have probably gotten the
But you
severe.
see, that's the thing. I'm not arguing this case. I'm arguing the concept that somehow video cameras are going to be the savior of all discrepancies in the future, that now we're never going to have misinterpretations, or we won't even need juries.
I think that they will solve a lot more cases than the cases that sit now where it's one word against another and the other person is dead.
I like the days where you could get the truth out of people because they were honest, but unfortunately cameras now, that's what they do, is they also sometimes save.
Oh, really? There was a time when people were honest, and now people aren't honest. And everything's not black and white, right?
Let me statement. I'm saying that the thing is, these cameras sometimes do. I've seen them because the environment I work in, they honestly exonerate people from claims against people saying, "Oh, you did this, or this guy said that." All right, well, let's look at the camera, and they pull up the footage. Are like, no, there's no proof within the camera.
I'm telling you, Skynet and all the big government people out there want you to appreciate that 99% of the time cameras are going to be awesome and be awesome. They just don't want you to think about the 1% of the time when cameras are going to screw people.
The only thing about where this is coming from, at least with this situation, is if they.
Definitely, I'm not going to think about it that way. If I start thinking about it that way, I have to think about how guns are dangerous in 1% of people's hands, so nobody should have them.
Well, if that guy would have had that camera filming that footage, there probably wouldn't have been the severe reaction there was, where it's they would have reacted the way they did, obviously, and putting him taking him into custody and so on. And then the other thing was, man, that guy's I've never been a police officer, but I imagine the training, you shoot a certain style, but it had this very distinct way. He's at the shooting range, man, and he got his shots off.
I just can't believe they spent all the time on that story when they should have been spending their time on the real story about whether Jeb Bush is actually Hispanic or not. Because that was the stupidest story I saw all fucking week. He checked Hispanic on his voter registration. The boxes are like the size of pinpricks right next to each other. He checked the wrong box. Big fucking deal.
I'm surprised he voted himself and had somebody do it.
What was their goal for pointing out that story? That he wants to be Hispanic? Or that he's pretending to be Hispanic? There's no end game to that story. So why the fuck was that?
Well, that just goes to show you how desperate the media is for any kind of freaking story to drum up any slight, not really conspiracy, but any slight discrepancy that.
I need to try to gin up the fact that his wife is Hispanic, so trying to put some correlation to that.
I love the fact that I watched Rachel Madcow go insane about the NRA convention the other night, bitching about how they have such a double standard. They want everyone to be able to carry guns, but they won't let you carry loaded guns into the floor of the NRA show. They want those guns to be disabled. I'm like, do you understand the difference between carrying a concealed gun for self-defense and a gun that's put out specifically for the purpose of you to play with it? I was like, of course they don't want the guns that are put out specifically for the purpose of you to inspect, handle, mess with. They don't want those operational and loaded. That just makes common sense. She's trying to tie that as that's a double standard.
That's why
guns just not around them. I'm like, that is so stupid.
I don't agree with car shows not leaving the keys in all the model cars.
Yeah, I know they should. They should be running. They should be running. We should be able to get in and see what they sound like when they're running.
I think, wasn't it last year that you couldn't carry at the NRA, even concealed?
Well, it just depends on the venue. So
it probably depends on where they're at. And then she made a big deal out of that. At the concert later, you can't carry either. So the NRA doesn't trust you around their famous people they're bringing.
That's what I think. I think they found out about the show last year and then just put that on every show and every NRA show, and then.
Well, you can't carry at the concert because the concert is a public venue that serves, that's got more than so many certain people in it, so you can't legally carry anything. Not like they're enacting some double standard. It was ridiculous. Her whole viewpoint. She just loses her shit.
We don't have that here, where you can't carry in a large place. We can carry anywhere except for.
Most states have that to where you can't carry into like a sporting event or a concert or anything that sells alcohol that holds more than like 2,000 people or something like that.
Weird. So is Maddow a Republican or a Democrat?
She's a liberal Democrat.
Okay.
progressive Democrat.
But then I was also mad at the Republicans in Tennessee because they made a bill saying, making it. They were wanting to. I forget what they were doing. They were wanting to do away with gun permits. They were wanting to institute constitutional carry, blah blah blah, or something. But then the Democrats added a provision to the bill, which was supposedly going to scare them off. That said, okay, well then people can carry guns into the state building, into the Capitol, and the Republicans nixed it. And I'm like, why would you nix that? In Oregon and Washington, we can carry into our state Capitol, we can carry into our Congress buildings. I don't know why they think that's a problem. We've never had a politician shot on the job here, and we can carry into them.
Texas, you can too. You just have to go. Actually, you get expedient because there's less people actually carrying, so you just go straight to the line, or that one area where you check your CHL and that's it.
See, I think those kinds of things happen because our political leaders that used to be public servants now consider themselves officials, and now their situations are more important than the rest of ours. That's why I think those little things like not being able to carry at the Capitol and all that. That's just my opinion, but I don't really have much in the way to back that up. But I think that's the way of thinking that has started to evolve with political figures as well as police and so on. I think we're seeing that mentality kind of ripple all throughout our society. Just my opinion.
There's no crickets in here. What are you talking about?
That's a good point, Brian. I thought I didn't realize I was muted. I'm sitting here talking. Oh, shit. Does the ILA? It's ILA, right? NRA ILA.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
Do they have a big presence at these shows as far as they do any kind of seminars or?
The Chris Cox guy will be there.
It's definitely an NRA show. There'll be a big stage where it used to be the radio show, so it's probably now the podcast will be going constantly, and then they'll have guests up there and people kind of stand around and look at them, on like a raised stage with like just kind of out in the middle so everybody can see them from all angles. And they'll have their tables set up there and doing their radio shows and podcasts, I guess, from up there. So I imagine once in a while they'll have somebody up there to tell you about what the ILA is or something. Then there's banners everywhere. It's covered in NRA stuff everywhere. It's telling you about different things they do. It sounded like the Glock thing was at some place where they could shoot them.
That's what I heard. Has that been confirmed?
Well, from looking at the pictures on Facebook, they were saying or maybe some video or little thing I seen. She said the guys or the chick or whoever it was said something like, I'll answer your questions before we head off to the range, and it was at a gun shop with a range. So I'm guessing they must have just rented the shop for the day or something.
Oh, sweet.
They had catered a bunch of food there, and then it looks like they were taking people into this room. So either there was only 8 people showed up, or they were taking 8 people at a time into this room, letting them look at it, or telling them whatever little thing, and then some of the people were just, how they do, they just turn on their cameras and broadcast what they're telling them, verbatim basically. And that's where I seen them say something like allude to the fact they're going to be into a range. But I haven't seen anybody shoot one yet.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. In previous years, have you ever heard of any company or any I guess not necessarily vendor, but any firearms manufacturer doing that?
Doing what?
Like having an actual live fire
I guess I never really paid attention to anybody. I think maybe, what the hell was it? Did the Scar come out at NRA? I think the Scar might have come out at NRA, and that would have been 2010, I think. And oh, you know what? The 1911 from Remington, the Remington 1911 A1 or whatever it was called.
The R1, yeah.
Yeah, that one came out in 2009. So yeah, they do demo or debut guns like that. I don't remember them doing anything like extra.
They're showing the new HK P30 SK, which is the, I guess, some subcompact P30. So that's new for.
Yeah, Midwest Industries was coming out with something. Some kind of 308. That looks super cool. Is Head Down going to be there, Ryan?
No, no. They've got I've got them busy with a few other things. So you'll probably see in about probably about 2 weeks what has kept them swamped the past month. So it'll be it'll make national news. Let's put it that way.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
What are we talking about? I missed something. I had to go clean the pans from dinner.
Some big news from Head Down coming up soon. Head Down Rifles.
Oh.
Oh, that's sweet.
Had to go clean the cast iron. You can't let it sit.
Well, anybody else got any anything I want to talk about? Any news? Anything we're missing? Cool. Or
Well, I would say that if I was going, I would like to hit the nonprofits and that section. It's pretty cool, the clubs and stuff. So might be worth checking that out. Sometimes they get overlooked because they're not as flashy.
Typically, what do you think a good average number for not just firearm manufacturers but just vendors in general for a booth or?
How many are there? Probably 200.
Yeah.
No, there's more than that. Yeah, maybe 2. I don't know. I guess we can find out in like 2 seconds. But it's mostly manufacturers. It's nothing really else besides manufacturers.
I'm super excited, except for the fact that
Over 550 exhibitors, so 550.
exhibitors, that's the word I was trying to search for. Except for the fact that apparently all the hotels are booked, and Casey, my buddy Casey that's driving down there, just got there tonight. Said the cheapest hotel he's found so far is $375 a night.
Damn.
That is insane.
That's
There's
not
no way
Vegas.
I was like that.
How far is Camden from Nashville? Is it a long way? A couple hours or
It's like
something?
2 hours or something.
About an hour hour and a half.
So no
It's not
team
like-
interview.
It's like slow roads getting to it kind of thing.
There's no
Okay.
Holiday Inns or Motel 6s.
Yeah, I was
down
gonna say that must be because all the cheap rooms are just taken, so all you
Oh,
can
you
get
know
is fancy.
Oh well, no, he's saying that even the shitty hotels that he called are $300 a night.
For this weekend,
Oh, well, that's
you
messed
better
up.
believe it.
Yeah, so that's pretty shitty when you think about
It is.
like a hotel that's normally $60 a night. They know they can get 300 because of the amount of people that are going to saturate that area.
Yeah, but that's also how they make their living, I guess.
Right. Capitalism at its best, you know. Oh, thanks for hopping in, Ryan. If your girls cancel on you, let me know.
Oh
Is
no,
that-
no, They're going. They're riding with me.
Uh,
So
yeah. Ask around. See what you can do for me.
yeah, I'll see if I can figure something out. Run me or Kevin down. I got to get with the guys at Georgia Optics. I got a bunch of stuff I got to get done while I'm there. So but I'll probably be having some stuff and a couple of people around Saturday because I got that nice place right there by the convention centers. I think it's walking distance. So yeah, just run me down and we'll connect while we're there.
Sweet, brother.
All right, take care. See you
All
guys.
right.
See you guys.
Later.
And then
And then there was 6. So predictions on the Glock 43. Total
think it'll-
flop or
Yeah.
I think it'll sell. I mean, I don't think I'll end up buying one, but I definitely think it'll sell. People have been asking for it for
People
years.
buy it because it's the Glock.
I don't think it's an R51 or whatever. You know, I don't think it's one of those.
odd. I hope not. Now the cool thing I just saw in my local FFL, local gun shop, was they've already got the extended base plates for the Glock 42.
The Pierce.
Pierce is doing one, and there was some other company that's a +3
Wow.
extension.
How many does the 42 hold?
I think it's 6.
So it'll be 9 rounds.
Very good.
Well, that's the same thing as the 9mm then, right? So
No, the
9's only 6.
that's what I'm saying. They're both 6 from the factory, right?
Yeah, 6. Is it 6 + 1? Yeah, 6 or 7 + 1. I think it's 6 + 1.
Because
Are you
the
talking about that single stack one?
Mm-hmm.
They're both 6, 42 and the 43.
Thank you.
Yeah, see.
Why would you get a single stack and then get an extended mag for it?
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing when I saw it, because that defeats the whole. I mean, the
Well, but wait,
Yeah,
is
the whole
the
point is
magazine?
you want it
the
to be
magazine's gonna
small,
be
and then you
skinny
put
though,
in a
right?
massive magazine, so it's like, oh, I don't want a fat gun, but I don't care if it's 600 yards long.
well, because your handle in your magazine is the one that's the part that's going to print. So if
Right,
you
exactly.
extend that magazine way out,
Was the
It's
36
like, oh, I can't
also
have
the
it be
6 round?
a multiple of an inch wider, but I don't mind if the mag sticks out like way behind me, so it looks like I'm wearing like a walkie-talkie or something under my shirt.
Yep, that's what I don't get. Why people buy those? They'll get a Glock 26 and they'll put what is it, a Glock 19 mag in with one of those X grip extender things. And you're like, why? Like the stupidest looking
This guy,
thing.
I don't know if it carry around all that extra barrel and sight radius.
Right.
Yeah, what would you want that for?
But people do it.
It's like I've seen a Glock
So I'm
drum.
seeing Ralph keep talking about this Indian Arrow. I want to buy that gear because that seems like the gear to buy.
what is it?
Indian
Indian
Arrow.
Arrow? I've never even heard of that company.
No, I'm giving them shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh. God damn it, you got me all excited. I was like, sweet, a new gear company. I've got so much, I mean, just shit that I'll probably never use, but, what is it about that? You gotta have it, like 2 battle belts and 2 plate carriers and a fucking plastic bin full of holsters and shit that I won't ever like use, but I bought it, because it was cool.
I've never had that problem with that kind of stuff.
You will. Well, you may,
Yeah.
but it's not that big a deal. I started doing what Six String does, and he'll get something new, not like it, and get rid of it. So I've just been selling stuff on eBay here and there that I just haven't used in forever, and
Yeah, see, that's what I need to
Get
start
rid of it.
doing. Yeah, because I've got stuff that was given to me, stuff that, companies gave me, stuff that I bought, that, you just get to the point where you accumulate before you
then
know
put
it,
it up
you
on gun
accumulate
channels.
so
And,
much.
we got a trading post up there on gun channels. We can post stuff for nothing and just put a price on it, and if it sells, it sells, or trade it to somebody.
Oh hell yeah! I still got to
So-
get my patches from Moon.
Stone, you do believe in the 2 is 1 and 1 is none, though, right? I mean, I think I've heard you say that before. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
gonna have a certain amount of gear anyway, right?
Right. Yeah. You know, and then that's how I justify it to myself, because I'll look around, and I'll be like, damn, I need to get rid of that. I'm never going to use that. And then I'll say in the back of my head, I'll be like, but the day I get rid of it is the day I'll need it. Or what if I need it and I don't have it, and then I have to buy it again? So it's that conversation I have with myself that justifies keeping all this shit.
Do you ever find that you have a hard time keeping up the other end of the conversation when you're talking to yourself, though?
As long as you don't answer yourself with the wrong answer, right?
Right? And then, like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. Don't talk to me like that.
I emailed those Huntertown Arms people about their silencer or their suppressor.
Oh, I think I've looked into them too after that chat the other night. I'm really liking them and the
Oh,
prices.
God.
What
Is
they
that
say?
the 22?
I just emailed them and asked them. I was like, well, I bought this 22. It says the opening in the shroud is 1.1 inches, and it says it fits any cans 1 inches diameter or smaller. Well, their can is 1.08 inches.
Oh
So
shit!
I'm like, that should still fit in a 1.1 inch opening, but I'm not sure. So I sent them an email asking them, have you ever tried to fit one on this barrel? Does it fit? And they're like, and they sent me an email back going, no clue, never tried. So
We're waiting to hear what you have to tell us.
so I just sent them an email back saying, well, do you have any like inert cans you can send out for demos or anything that I could see if it fits before I order one?
Did you go and buy it, Yankee?
No.
He bought it the same
No.
fucking day.
No, the one that was 500 or whatever. Was it
Yeah.
500? You
Hey, he
did?
bought it the same day. He didn't even wait for our opinion.
Not the. Are you talking about the can or the gun?
I'm talking about the rifle. Yes, I'm talking about the rifle.
The little breakdown, 10,
The
22.
breakdown with the
Yeah.
barrel, shorter barrel, something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, bought it the same day.
I bought it much later. I bought it after I had already posted the video and several people responded.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they were basically like, "Yeah, go buy it," and you were like, "Okay."
A lot of
Yeah,
people
if you
were,
go into
right?
the toolbox and hit the volume, and then mute everybody. That's what Edge is doing to us right now.
I did that a second ago and it didn't come up on my screen.
He
Here's
couldn't
the
hear
thing.
himself talking to himself. That's what it was.
On that video, I got two different types of responses. I got the people that knew what the barrel was, knew what the gun was, and were like, yeah, that's a good price. And then I got the people like, no, you should never pay more than $300 for a Ruger Twin 22, who had absolutely no clue, and they kept sending me links to, you can buy it here for $315. And I'm like, that's a regular 1022 with a pop.
The same.
And some of them were definitely starting to talk a little bit of shit too in the comment section. I noticed, and then a few of the guys like you're talking that knew what the hell was going on said no.
It's like a lot of them like, I just saw it at my local dealer for $325. I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't see this one. You probably saw it under
Throw up a picture on the screen because people in the chat are asking which gun you're talking about.
Oh, hold on, let me get a picture.
It's a takedown
No, I'll
1022,
lock
but instead
on
of a
Yankee.
short barrel with a shroud, so that you can
Beautiful gun.
put a can on it with a short barrel, but not have to have a short barrel rifle.
Because it comes out to the right length when you put the can on, right?
Right.
Well, no, without the can or with the can, there's always this shroud that makes it 16-inch barrel.
Okay, I gotcha.
So even though the
So
shroud
it's like
is not technically, it's a shroud. It doesn't have rifling. It's not
correct.
chambered. They still consider that a barrel.
Oh heck yeah! It's overall barrel length because it's permanently attached to the barrel with a weld, and you can't just take it off in the field. Then that's modifying it to or to comply with the extremely vague, shitty law from 1934.
Oh shit.
Well, like,
So
on
the,
those-
the advantage is that you can just put a suppressor on and it'll still be short.
All right, is that showing up?
But he doesn't have to have a suppressor.
Yeah, I'm locked
Oh,
on.
yeah.
I'm locked on you here.
oh yeah, that might even be a hell yeah.
Because otherwise you'd have to get that same gun, the one that they keep telling Yankee is $350, but it would have a 16-inch barrel, so it would end where the end of his gun is, and then you'd put a can on it, so it would look really long and weird. This way you can have the can up close to the chamber where it should be on that gun without having to make it an SBR. So he's basically saving himself $200 and a bunch of hassle by getting that gun all set up like that.
Yeah, so it won't be an SBR, but it'll be the same length as an SBR with a can on it.
Exactly. And I think another advantage is that your can going on the end, especially on a takedown 22, where you're out, camping or something, or out chomping around over tree roots or something, and if you were to fall over and tweak your can, it was just going to torque on the threads and potentially screw up the can. This, I would think, the shroud's going to take a little bit of protection off of that.
Oh, yeah, take a lot of protection. That's because it's really sturdy on there.
Nice.
So what kind of optic are you going to throw up on there?
I'm just going to throw a simple low magnification piece of glass on it, like a decent, halfway decent one, because that's what I want. I want that. I want something that I can use at relatively short distances and modern.
Wrong. Here's what this gun is for, so that when you go out at night, you can, or go out at dusk, so you don't have to run into issues about if you're allowed to shoot at night, and then you put a laser on there, and then you just shoot that thing from the hip, and that's super fun.
Yeah. Well, that could work for what it's really for, but what it's really for is killing zombies.
Be awesome.
Are you going to put a folding stock on it, or are you going to leave that?
I'm going to leave it like it is for right now because I like that wood stock, but that was one of the things that attracted me to it. But I did, one of the guys from Hogue contacted me, and they make a really cool thumb hole stock for the takedowns.
Yeah, someone just did a chassis system for that.
What about taking your wooden stock that you like, slicing it, and just coming up with a piece of hardware that lets you fold it for storage and carrying stuff?
Yeah, see, that would be kind of cool, converting it to a...
I bet you could do that, just not real tough. Just even taking a regular piece of brass hinge that's decent and then just shaping it down to the, the profile of the stock.
Like a Butler Creek?
No, the stock he has on there. Just cut it. Put a
cut it and put a hinge on it?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with those is they twist off, though, so your hinge wouldn't work.
No, in the back.
Can you see the little thumb hole stock that Hogue has right there, the green one? They're going to send me one of those for it.
That's a funky angle at the back there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I went for years asking Hogue if they would give me a pistol grip or the forend for an AK, and they're like, "F you, get away from us. We don't do giveaways or whatever." I'm like, all right.
And they're going to send one to Yankee?
You just weren't willing to do what you had to
all
do.
kinds of shit at Yankee.
You just weren't willing to do what you got to do.
Damn straight. I walked up and said, "Do you want to give me one of these?" And they're like, "Nope." And I'm like, "All right." I walked away.
G-Web still has a gag reflex, so he can't get as much free stuff.
Now, why didn't you get that purple one?
Well, if they send me a purple one, I wouldn't mind. Huh?
What did I miss?
Everything. We solved all of the world's problems. Again.
It'd be sweet if that thing was full
anyway,
auto.
that gun with a BX-25 mag, laser up on top or on the front. They make a laser that fits on the front sling swivel thing, I think, now. Yeah, so the barrel strap, I think, is a laser. So you get a laser if it'll cover it might not go around your can, though. But anyway, that gun with a laser at one of those rubber balls that kind of heal themselves, those square things, I think you got one, that you can just shoot around in like a quarry or something. And that would be tons of fun with a laser at dusk, so you can just hip fire it all afternoon.
Yeah, might be fun. I'm not the biggest fan of 22s, but
Magpul released that 1022, that same stock that they released for the 300.
The 700.
It looks like their shotgun stocks, but with a 4-in.
Do you talk about the Hunter?
Yeah, the Hunter.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. It looks more like the Remington 870 and the Mossberg 500 stocks.
The back end does, but it seems like it's a little different setup for the front, but not a whole lot.
But that's cool to Magpul. It's making a 1022 stock. I might have to buy another 1022, even though I just sold mine like 3 months ago.
The stock for the 700 is like 300.
It's only on Instagram. I posted a lot of, I started off with a lot of gun pictures. Then I got my Jeep and I posted a lot of Jeep pictures. So I got a lot of gun people going, "What the fuck's with the Jeep pictures?" And they unsubbed. And now I went back to posting some pictures of some guns over the last couple of days because I had a chance to take some. And now I've got Jeep people like, "What the fuck's with the guns?" And now they're unsubbing.
You can't have one without the other.
You gotta balance
it's technically illegal.
You just got to put Jeeps and guns at the top of your description.
Well, I was reading this thing the other day. They were talking about how to be successful at Instagram. And it was like, keep your, either be general topic, like some channels are just like general lifestyle topic, like it's just follow my life, or stay very specific in your topic, like be guns, or be cars, or be etc. It says, follow as many people as possible, comment and like as much as possible. And I'm like, all of that sounds like way too much fucking work.
Yeah, I don't do all that. I just comment just like I'm using YouTube. If I feel the need to comment, I'll comment.
Yeah, you were reading some like general how to do well on Instagram, like not a gun specific one.
Yeah, and it's like follow a lot of people that are specific to the topic you are. Like if you're a lipstick channel, follow all the big lipstick channels and comment often on them and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's like work.
Sounds way too random for you to pick lipstick.
Yeah. And I'm only following like 22 people. I'm not doing any of the stuff it tells me to do.
Yankee doesn't like lipstick. He likes lip gloss.
You're a drag queen.
More of a lip smacker. You know, the flavored gloss? I like
drag
that.
queen.
I do like the flavored chapsticks. What's that? The green apple chapstick? Oh my god, the green apple chapstick is so good.
You're not supposed to chew on it.
I do. I have to reapply like every 30 seconds because I lick it all off.
So Jerry's asking if suppressors can be taken out of the NFA. I believe they definitely can be taken out of the NFA very easily, and I think we were very close and we'll be close again.
It makes perfect sense, but that's not the way the government works sometimes.
Well, but wait, especially since a few of the states now have started to legalize hunting with the suppressors specifically. Yeah. I definitely think that they're. I mean, I don't want to say the word sporting clause. I don't want to use that, but could we finally leverage it against them for once?
No.
I know you hate that term.
No, we never want to use it for anything because then we would depend on it as well.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't be. It would. Besides, I don't know. I mean, there's probably ways to make it work, but like you say, they're using them for hunting more and more. So we're just one step away from them using it at outdoor ranges to be more polite. We just got to start calling them politeners.
There you go.
Environmentally protecting, and they're polite.
I actually can hear. If I was to walk outside my door right now, I can hear the gun range over at the English Pit. I sometimes like to walk out and listening to them firing over there.
And but
it also trying harder. I mean, what other way you take any gun and you're going to add like 6 to 12 inches to it? Well, not 12, but 6, to 8 inches to it. No matter what the gun size is, that makes it an awkward gun. If anything, they should make it a deal where you got to have a can on there.
Right, and let's be
you got to pay extra for not running a can.
Yeah, it should be like a law that says if your barrel is under 16 inches, you have to have a 6-inch can on it.
In the industry term, everybody gets caught up on the silencer or suppressor. The industry term is silencer.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What? No, then we get hung up on it, but not that many people call it a silencer. I don't think.
Yeah, it's interchangeable. I mean, I see like when I'm looking for one.
Suppressor is what it is and what it does. Silencer implies silence, right?
Silence is the technical term.
It does not do that. It is not.
It is, man. That's how the NFA item is written.
Number one, there's no established industry. There's just a couple of industry associated.
Well, I guess. Hold on. Let me back the law.
I'll just say this: I'm looking at them right now to purchase, and about half of the ones I'm looking at call them silencers, and about a third call them silencers, and about 2/3 call them suppressors.
Right. Yeah. It just depends on what market they're going after. So if they're going after like the general market and they're just trying to make it as appealing as possible, like kids that play video games and people that watch movies, they're going to say silencer. And if they're trying to be, correct nomenclature or whatever, they're going to say suppressor.
No,
but it doesn't really matter. Like you say, the 1934 is all that really matters.
Silencer.
The ATF refers to it as a silencer, but then, like you said, it's a mixed bag with all the people making them. You got Silencer Co. Then you got companies that'll just have the suppressor after their name and things like that. So there's different schools of thought on it. It's really not that big of a deal. People make it a big deal.
Well,
On it.
we all agree that it doesn't silence it at all, though, right? It only brings the sound down. It doesn't make it soundless.
Well, it
I don't know.
depends.
The
I
only
guess
one I ever really
if
shoot.
since I care, I do have a position that I claim is worth advocating, is because when you allow it to be called a silencer, then the antis can call it a silencer, and then they can throw that out at people that don't care or don't know, and they hear silencer and they think silent, and they immediately think crime, and they think getting silent guns.
I shot a silencer for the first time last.
Suppressor is more technically accurate, and it doesn't just throw out that
Right.
extreme, subtle, bad thing against guns into the nomenclature.
I'll tell you, I shot a silencer for the first time last year, suppressor, and it was cool, man. It was really interesting. Shooting a 22 AR set up with the can on it, and outside of if you missed a steel target, you couldn't hear it. You just saw the bolt go back and click, 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 click. That's all you heard. It was pretty damn cool.
What? What made it so silent you couldn't hear it fire?
If you missed the steel target, all you could hear is a click on the bolt.
On what?
On AR.
22.
On AR. 22. An AR.
I've shot many of suppressed 22s, and I can definitely hear them even with ear protection in.
Yeah, was it a bolt gun?
It was it was at the Silencer Co. booth that they had, and it was a AR set up with 22. And man, like I said, you just I remember watching the guy before me shooting because you couldn't hit the steel target. You're like, is it working? Because all you could see was the bolt go back. You couldn't hear anything.
You're all deaf because even suppressed, the decibel level from a 22 caliber bullet of any type, regular type
It's like
velocity,
100 decibels.
It's a
is
rifle.
loud enough to damage your hearing.
It's a rifle though. I mean, it's a longer barrel. That's the only thing I can account for that possibly made that. I was wearing earplugs, but I don't know. It sounded almost silent to me.
Most 22 cans, when they're suppressed, in the 100 to 115 decibel range, I think is what they usually advertise, which is still pretty loud. Like the OSHA, I think OSHA requirements, if you 80 decibels or more, if you have that level of sound and it's constant, you're supposed to be wearing earplugs.
Yeah, they almost require it.
Yeah.
I think they do require it, actually.
This was at the Texas Firearms Festival last year, and yeah, they give you plugs. I forgot to bring my ears, and luckily they give you some plugs. But I don't know, it almost, like I said, that was my account. It almost sounded like you couldn't. All I could see was the bolt go back and hear it click. I couldn't hear any bam or bang or whatever coming off the round. And when I shot it, luckily I hit the steel target after the first shot, and that's when I could get the report that I was hitting it. And I just didn't move it and kept shooting the same place. Hit I think it was 8 rounds they gave us.
If
No,
we
you can't
could
hear.
own them out here, see, that's the thing. It's in our state law that there's no allowance for NFA items of any type. But if we could own them out here, I'd definitely want one for my AR, and I'd probably. I mean, I know my 30S is pretty small, but I'd kind of like you were kind of calling it, a politener.
I'd love to get one if I didn't have to just go through a trust, because around here you won't get any municipality, police department, or any of them to sign off on them.
Your sheriff won't sign off on them.
Yeah, the sheriff here and the police chief of the county and the city, they will not even give police officers to them.
Damn.
Yeah, but trust is a better way to do it, anyways, because it avoids all that
You don't
mess.
want to do that.
Anyways,
The cool thing about it is there's a lot more states, Georgia including, that just passed. There's a lot more states that are allowing or lifting the restriction of suppressors off of, or allowing the use of suppressors for hunting. And I think the longer that goes, the more people that start to use them for hunting, and the more states that take notice of that, I hope they'll follow suit, and eventually it won't be as taboo as it is now. Right.
Yeah,
Now it's kind of taboo.
that's pulled a whole demographic into it, because most people who are just hunters, they really don't care either way that much about suppressors. They have these big powerful deer rifles, and they only shoot like 10, maybe a box ammo a year. But if they're like, heck, I can get a suppressor and not have to worry about wearing earplugs, and I can, hear, it'd be better to hear game and stuff like that.
You know who needs to start using them is sports shooters, three
There you
gunners,
go.
because
Oh,
then it would start being cool, and they'd have like some kind of like what do they call that paint where it changes color? So as they heat up, their brands could come out or their logos could come
Oh
out.
yeah, that would be awesome.
And people would be all like, "Oh, that's awesome! I'm gonna use so-and-so's can because so-and-so uses it." And then they'd be commonplace, and kids would be like, "I'm gonna get this. What's your first gun gonna be?" And then and I'm gonna get this gun and this can for it. And then once people are like, "Oh, okay," when my kid goes out, can you imagine ballistics parents if you could have a can? They'd be like, "Oh, thank you. I got my weekends back." They'd be thundering outside every weekend.
Well, I'll still be practicing with that one for my USPSA though, because it'd be quick, it'd make you slower. But yeah, for 3-gun, definitely. I think there are some outlaw 3-gun matches that, it's pretty much you run what you brung. I'm not sure if 3-Gun Nation says whether or not you can use cannons.
I just remember all the movies growing up, and those always associated the sounds there with assassin, hitman, or mechanic, whatever they called them, and that's I think where that stereotype comes from. Where they only have one use is for that kind of stuff, and it's a bad stereotype.
Plissken, man. Escape from New York.
Mechanic with Charles Bronson. What was that movie? Stallone, where he's a killer. Well,
John Wayne McHugh.
yeah,
Excellent uses of suppressors. Stone guy, I don't know what you're doing, but are you okay?
Oh
Are you
shit!
okay?
I thought I was muted, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. As long as you're all right, bro.
Yeah, I'm packing up my shit and moving around, packing bags.
So you can use a suppressor on your rifle and 3-gun if you're shooting pistol carbine division. You shoot a pistol caliber. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, you get the advancements between.
I wonder what the difference would be, or why the difference would be, I guess.
Yeah, it should say under unlimited rifle. It says there is no limitations on accessories, so yeah, you can shoot it on your rifle too, in regular unlimited class. Probably can do it in practical class too.
Hmm.
Yeah, because practical says it doesn't say anything about suppressors that I see. Oh wait, I forgot. Your muzzle brake can't be but so long, so that's you couldn't. It's only open class, but yeah, you can shoot them in open class.
All right, stand by.
If you look at it,
Has anybody seen this video I put in the side? It's a new Everytown video.
I'm watching it currently,
I'll watch it.
and it's angering me ever so slightly, or actually quite a bit now that I take that back.
It's ridiculous, especially at the end.
Well, why don't you be quiet so we can watch it?
Go ahead. So anyway, Moms Demand Action, they posted it the other day, and their followers are so stupid that they thought it was an NRA video, and they were like, I can't believe the NRA would stoop as low to use little kids.
Nice.
And I couldn't comment because I've been blocked for so long, but
Nice.
How hypocritical is that? Like, wow, really? And they're so too dumb to even realize that it's another anti-gun company producing it. Wow.
exactly.
That's, yeah.
well, the advancements in silencers, suppressor, and column is with CNC milling. The way they can really build up the baffles now is really crazy compared. I mean, the stuff in the 60s and so on that came out of those decades. It's just such huge improvements.
I think that's crazy that it says America is too strong to let our kids grow up in fear, but that's exactly what they're peddling.
What? That's the NRA guy's speech, though.
No. At the very, very end, what is
No,
this?
that's what they're saying. They said everything you're about to read was originally said by the head of NRA.
Well, yeah, Wayne
They're
LaPierre
saying
said all
the
that stuff.
NRA is the one that's creating the wave of the fear.
But when Wayne LaPierre said all that stuff, he wasn't trying to create fear. He was just giving reasons why people own guns.
It scared me and my children.
and
Well, see, I was.
they twisted it all up, and then they get on they use little kids.
Well, I'm not defending
point
what they
across.
did, but I'm not going to defend what he said either.
He's kind of a goober on that for sure. But what I was taking away from it is that they're just trying to push the fear of the gun, which is what they do, right? That's what every town for gun safety is all about, right?
Are they afraid of the gun?
I believe so, aren't they? Every town for gun safety.
Well,
Is
they're
it
all
United
about gun
Americans fighting for
safety.
It's
gun safety?
Bloomberg's group.
Yeah,
They're about gun safety, but I mean, I think they're more against people owning guns than they are the guns.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I see
that's
what you're
all.
saying there. I see what you're saying.
Oh, speaking of that, supposedly the Mothers Demand Action is going to be at NRA doing.
That would be someone to interview.
Oh, dude, we're gonna try to find them. They're supposed to be on some big tour bus.
What do you mean we?
Me, Tac Daddy, and Haas, and someone else.
You gonna hit on Shannon Watts? Is that what you're saying?
No, we want to go, and we're going to be very respectful, very professional, but we're going to try to get an interview with them and just kind of ask them to defend their position, ask them, you know what I mean? Like, ask them what,
I'd want to interview them, find out who the hell they are, and not necessarily like their addresses or anything, but see if they're really legitimately on that position because of they're devoted to it, or if it's just that they're paid.
I was saying, like cashing a check, yeah?
Right. Because there are people that get paid to stand there, and if you challenge them, not challenge them, but if you just interview them, hey, what's it like? Why do you feel this way? What's your story? And if they're like, my story is that this is, and then they'd read you all the boilerplate.
I got paid $10 to stand here and read from this.
What do windows taste like?
It would be much cooler. Damn, I wish I was gone now. I didn't know that kind of thing was happening because we don't get that opportunity at SHOT. They don't really, there's no protesting. It would be awesome to just stand out there in the audience and be like, yeah, what's going on? And just talk to them and not make it like an interview, just like a regular old, actually talk to these people and find out who they are. I mean, that's some good intel potential. So yeah, like I said in the side chat, that'd be awesome.
Every little bit would help, right?
I would ask Shannon Watts what a window tastes like.
I don't.
Nice. No, but I hope to God that's
It's like Sonic.
I think
practice drawing without tracing.
if they actually show up and more so, I hope they're willing to do an interview and defend. I guess it's easy for them to be on Facebook and be doing all that shit behind closed doors, so to speak, where they don't have to be confronted with logical, with a logical debate or a logical counter to the argument. So that ought to be fun. That's if they show up.
Hey man, I don't know. They just paid me to hold a sign.
Right.
Actually, I'm concealed carrying right now. See?
Oh, that would be classic.
That would be insane.
I'm undercover. I'm a Splinter Cell. Tiny one.
That would be classic. All right, way off topic, but I make these killer keychains out of spent brass, and so I pick up brass at my local range and stuff like that. And
oh, did you make that one that you sent me, Stone Guy?
yeah, absolutely.
Really? I didn't know you made that. That's awesome. Yeah, sweet.
So I picked up this brass. Well, I thought it was a 30-30 that had been stretched out, but it said this is a 35 Remington. Anybody heard of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Good deer rifle. That's
a giant heavy slug bullet.
Think of a 30-30, but like steroided up a little bit.
Yeah, you can't shoot them very far. They're more like a bush gun, but like 100 yards and closer, they're devastating.
You should be able to take a hog. You should be able to take a whitetail. But yeah,
Huh.
within 100 yards or closer for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, like 150, 200 even, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, clean shot is what I'm.
Right, yeah, that's what I said initially, 100 yards, like, be safe, but that's what I shot my first hog with, was a 35, actually. We've got one, Marlin, I think it is.
I never even heard of that caliber before, so when I found the piece of brass, I was like, what the hell is this?
I hadn't heard of it until a couple of months ago. My buddy just ended up getting one out here, and I'm like, well, what is that all about? So I ended up checking it out, and I'm like, wow, it does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, I think.
They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it either. I had a guy, I put my Glock up for sale or trade locally, and I had a guy offer one, I think it was a Remington, or a Marlin or something like that. But just a little lever action. I did some research on it. It's actually a really, really cool round. Very effective for, like everyone said, for short bush-type rifle stuff.
Yeah, I remember I shot my first hog with one of those, and I was so excited after I shot a hog, because, like, I was only, like, probably 11 or 12, and I wasn't very familiar with lever actions. Like, I knew that when you actuated it, it put a new round in, and, like, I got so excited, I was like, I need to unload the gun, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just cycle them all through the gun, so I cycled them all through the gun.
You broke up at the end there, Caleb.
I said I cycled all the rounds out of the magazine tube, and just after I shot the hog, I was like, I need to unload this before I climb down the tree stand, and so I just ejected all the shells out real fast.
Maybe he's not roboting. It's just like lead stroking.
Maybe he is a robot.
Maybe that's better. I don't know. Turn my bandwidth down.
Hey, congrats, Huck.
Did you watch your
On
show?
what? What are we congratulating Huck on?
They
You gotta
did a SOE shout out.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I was just glad they got the stuff. I told them twice not to make a video out of it, or not to do it. Yeah, like a
Well,
video.
you weren't the soul of the video or whatever. I mean, the only part of the video,
Yeah.
but I definitely
Yeah,
I thought it was very cool, man.
It's good to know they got the stuff and that they kind of appreciated that some time went into it and so on. And you got a kick out of it.
They definitely got a kick out of it, dude.
Or what
That
happened? I
was,
missed
that was
it.
just a bunch of random. I sent SOE a bunch of like random trinkets and stuff I had around the shop.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
because John Willis said in one of his videos that he expedites orders if you send him shit or if they know you personally. So I'm like, shit, I'll send you guys a bunch of shit. And then I sent him a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to send him a bunch of, not a bunch, but I'm going to do a couple custom pieces for them in the colors that they like and so on and so forth.
Oh, nice.
The SOE logo or something.
That's super cool, Huck. I hope things
You'll probably
don't.
get super busy after that.
That's what I'm hoping, but I hope you don't get too busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I told him not to make a video, because I don't need a whole bunch of. I'm having a good time controlling my own business flow right now.
Next thing you know, you're gonna have an apprentice or two.
That's the problem. Is that if I'm forced to hire people, it's going to be a harder thing harder to get quality than it would be if I
That's what I was
hire
thinking.
someone at my own rate.
I was thinking then that their customers are going to be used to waiting a long time, so you can just.
Well, that's
Right.
like one of my cousins. He does his own custom knife work and everything, but he doesn't do it as his primary job. He works with his dad with the company, but in order to keep it where he and still enjoys it, like what he does is he'll just raise prices. Like, if he starts getting an insane amount of orders.
You price people out, but you price in who you know is still gonna pay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just running it mostly through Facebook, and depending on how many pictures I post and what pictures I post and so on, I get orders based on those. And I put a very little on eBay these days. I'm hoping to close out my eBay account within the next year or so, and just do things privately and get it all set up. Kind of like SOE has it, where you just go on and you can either contact me for custom work or buy what's for sale, sort of thing.
Right.
How is your website? Are you selling through it or?
It gets a lot. I get a lot of emails from it, like a whole lot of emails from it. I get people that, especially the old folks that don't necessarily do Facebook or eBay, they can just type in Ghost Town Knives and find it through Google. And I get a lot of people that have returns that have never didn't know I was running the company. They just look it up and.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So
find out
definitely
that
good
way.
for contact info.
Yeah, so they can return and get everything fixed, and after 20, 30 years of carrying a knife.
Ooh, that folder you just posted 8 minutes ago looks really nice.
Man,
As
if
Thank
long
you.
as it gets mine done, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I got both yours coming before April or
The
before May.
the folder is the one I most want to get done in time. My son's already started pestering people about what is it, because I was like the other day, I was like, I ordered your birthday present, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
it's a swift kick in the ass if he ain't careful.
So now he's asking everybody. He keeps trapping all my friends' places and asking them, "What my dad ordered me for my birthday?"
Wait, I'll send you a bunch of cards. I got a
Huck, is,
Vistaprint order coming soon.
Huck, is there any new news or update on the Forge?
No,
Is it
we
moving
haven't. We
along?
haven't done any paperwork or business type stuff. We haven't messed with the website or done any um, like administrative stuff lately. I'm just busting ass trying to get caught up with what I have.
Your actual work orders, I gotcha. I mean, it would be
That
great
going.
if somehow this would lead to be able to, make that a sooner reality as opposed to a later reality. I think that'd be awesome for you.
Yeah. It's not going to grow. It's not going to get huge until we start updating and putting more stuff up and sharing it more. Right now, it's just kind of I got it there, so it exists. And then once I start working on stuff, I'll put some better perks up for people. And like right now, it's all just like little random stuff that I made, but we got everybody written down and everything.
Do you have pictures of that first knife you made, that one that you're remaking for my son?
Yeah, I can pull that up some more.
Could you send those to me? Because I kind of want to show them to people for what I ordered for him.
So they can tell them they saw it and not tell
And
them.
tell him what it is.
Ask them about it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll send you an email. I'll have to dig through my folders and stuff, and I'll send you an email when I get out of here.
I just want to show it to people.
No, Dano, I didn't sell my Glock. We're selling the extra one that Mandy doesn't like. And possibly trading it for a USP 45 with a stainless slide.
Yeah, you were talking. Were you talking about that? Was that last night?
I think so, yeah.
Or was it a couple nights ago, maybe? I don't know. But I thought I heard you talking about that. I was stoked for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. If the guy's not a gun guy, so he's not really sure. He doesn't know if he likes it or not. He knows he likes Glocks.
One of my friends is about to buy a new Glock pretty soon. He was looking at getting either the 19, the 23, or the what is it? The one that's 357 sig. I forget.
Is that the 33?
37 or something weird like that. Maybe it is 33. I don't know. But anyways, I told him because he's going to carry it. I was like, well, you should probably get the 23, because then if you ever want to shoot, you'll be able to shoot 40, and then if you ever want to shoot 9mm, you can just put a conversion barrel in it. So that's what I told him to get. I told him 357 sig is a great round too, but it's just expensive as crap.
Sometimes hard to find too. I mean, I don't know about you guys over there. Like, I can't hardly ever find 357. Now, granted, I'm looking, but I'm not purchasing. I don't have one. But I do keep an eye out of what's on the shelf, and I hardly ever see that for sale out here.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a 357 sig Glock. I mean, I don't look very often.
I have a hard time finding 357 Magnum sometimes on the shelf out here, which is ridiculous.
The ammo, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. For real. It's hard to find it on the shelf.
It's all the weekend warrior FUD shooters going out shooting their revolvers. I wouldn't mind getting a 357. I think that'll be the first revolver I'll buy. Will be a 357. So I'll probably reload for it and shoot it a bunch.
Oh, I know you'll reload for it. I know you will.
You can shoot cheap with a revolver, because you save your brass.
Oh, and you smelt too.
Yeah. Hey, I don't smell bad. What are you talking about?
You smelt like shit.
You smell funny, boy. It's like a redneck. I ordered some more powder today. I couldn't resist.
What'd you end up getting?
It's just some Alliant. It actually matches my username, BE86.
There you go. Custom rounds.
I know, right? It's like, look, even matches my channel name. I saw I bought from one of the companies I follow on Facebook. They literally posted. I saw the post 20 minutes after they posted it. That's the only way. That's the only place they post like, updates on their stock. I mean, other than the website, obviously. So that's the only way to see what's really happening. And they're like, "Oh, new shipment just got in. Better go. Better get it. It's gonna go fast." And literally within the hour, it was like almost all gone. Like I'm gonna look on their website now, see if they have any more of what they had in stock earlier. Okay, they still got that's the rifle powder. So they still got AR-15 powder in stock. There's one. Yes, looks like it's all gone. Yeah, pretty much it was gone within an hour. So it's like, oh, I'm hopping on that. It's like, even though it's gonna make me broke. So, this stuff I'll need powder for a long time.
All kinds of stuff for sale in that classified. Gun channel's classified.
I haven't been in there in a while, is there?
Well, I'm gonna give it a roll too. I have like crates and crates of tactical stuff and backpacks and all kinds of crap that I don't need right now. So I'm liquidating.
I would definitely think that it would go because you're definitely like advertising it or whatever to the right community for sure.
Well, yeah, and you guys know me too. I mean, anyone who, especially the ones who have stuff. I mean, I put a lot of time and energy into the work I do. So any of the stuff is gonna be hand inspected or whatever.
Ooh, I don't know if I can pass up those suspenders.
I definitely take you at your word, Huck, as opposed to somebody that I don't know shipping me something on eBay. You know what I mean?
Yep, even on eBay, I have people that watch my thing for antique knives. Like they know I don't always sell them, but occasionally when I list old bayonets or just antique knives, they sell. Like I have people that buy over and over.
It's always good to have repeat customers.
Yep, that's the bread and butter of this is people that buy lots of stuff. They get it in hand and buy more.
That's one of the reasons, like with hospitality out here, you always want to get them to come back. That's like, you want them to have fun and have a great time and all that while they're here, but you want to do a good enough job and, have them have a great enough time that they want to come back, and when they do come back, they want to come back and hang out with you, Repeat business is huge. It can make or break you.
Yep, I almost always toss in, especially when it's not an eBay purchase, like when it's a Facebook order or something, I'm always tossing in little extras and like little lanyards and random crap into orders. Good karma anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you ever sell those Ruger P89s? Like a crap ton of magazines?
Well, hey, real quick, I'm gonna
did so.
cut the live chat off. It's getting late, but we continue to talk after we're off air. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in for the chat, and everybody on the panel that showed up to participate. So I'm gonna cut it here, but check us out every Thursday night, and thanks for watching and thanks for supporting us.
Have a good show. Have a good time with the NRA show.